Yeah, that's a lot of books. Hi guys, it's Steffi from the Novelty Corner. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to my April book haul. Yeah, there's a lot of books, so I'm not even going to pretend otherwise, and I'm just going to get into it. The first three books that I have to show you I did receive from Allen & Unwin for review, so I have already filmed my wrap-up for reading these books. The first one is Watch Over Me by Claire Corbett, which is a second-person dystopian thriller set in a country that has been occupied by an invading force. Then I was sent If Wishes Were Horses by Carly Lane, which is an Australian romance set in country Victoria, and Spellslinger by Sebastian de Castell, which is a young adult fantasy story with a really awesome sidekick animal character. I don't know why I seem to be giving 25 words or less summaries of books, but I don't know, maybe that'll work. Okay, next up are the books that I won in giveaways either on Facebook or on Goodreads. The first one is The Things We Promised by J.C. Burke, which is a young adult contemporary book, I believe. I also received Freeing Grace by Charity Norman, which I think is just a general fiction story. And I also won The Breakdown by B.A. Paris, which I believe is a thriller or a psychological thriller book. So that should be interesting. I haven't read one of those in a couple of months. The next two books I picked up in subscription boxes this month. The first one being The Secret Science of Magic by Melissa Keel, which came in my YA Chronicles box, and I will leave a link to that above for you guys to check out. It is a young adult story. I think it's more magical realism than it is fantasy, about a very smart girl and a boy who loves magic tricks who is obsessed with said girl. I also received Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor. I can't remember if I included this in my last haul because I don't know if I received it before the end of the month. If I have, I apologise. I didn't have time to check. Obviously, this is very popular everywhere on BookTube. It is a beautiful story about dreamers and magic and a fantastic world, and I absolutely adored it. What else can I say? Every year in Australia, we have the shortlist for the Children's Book Council of Australia Awards. That's usually released at the start of April, and then the winners are announced in August. Normally, I try and read all of the picture books and the books for young readers because I'm a teacher, and that tends to be the year levels that I've been teaching. This year, however, I'm not in a classroom, I am working in other people's classrooms, so I decided that I'm going to attempt to read all of the books for older children, which basically means all of the YA book category, which I haven't done for many years, which is exciting. So I had to pick up a few books from that category. I also did pick up one of the books nominated for Picture Book of the Year. I've had to put the light on. Sorry about the shadows. So I already own two of the books that were nominated in this category. That was Words in Deep Blue by Kath Crowley and Yellow by Megan Jacobson, but I also picked up Frankie by Siobhan Ploser, The Bone Sparrow by Zaina Frelin, and One Would Think the Deep by Claire Zorn. I also picked up Mechanica, A Beginner's Field Guide by Lance Belchin, which I've already talked about in a wrap-up video, and I absolutely loved it. This is just a really cool picture book, and I need to check out some of the other picture books that have been nominated as well. The rest of these books I picked up just simply because I want to read them, so why not? The first book is The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood, which I've never read, and I am super excited to get into because I keep hearing about the TV series that's being made based off this one, and I keep hearing lots of people reading it or rereading it in advance of that. So I don't know too much about it, except that it's a dystopian, I believe. Yeah, I want to get into this one soon. I also picked up Hunted by Megan Spooner, which is a Beauty and the Beast retelling, I believe. For the most part, I think people were pleasantly surprised, and I'm really excited to try this one. I also picked up Leviathan Wakes by James S.A. Corrie, basically because I got hooked on watching The Expanse on Netflix. Here in Australia, I can only get the first season. I marathon that in about 2 and a bit days. Now I'm in withdrawal. So now I'm pretty sure I'm going to binge read the series, because I'm just in that sci-fi space kick in my reading. I also picked up Red Sister by Mark Lawrence, mostly because this cover stands out like nothing else in a bookstore, and every time I walk past it I'm like, what is that book and what is it about? And as it turns out, I think it's about assassins, or simply just killers for hire. But the blurb begins with, at the convent of Sweet Mercy, young girls are being raised to be killers. I don't know, I'm getting sort of Nevernighty vibes in girls being trained to be killers sort of thing. So I really want to get to this one soon and just see what it's all about. Continuing on with my sci-fi space kick, I have Shadowrun by Adrienne Strickland and Michael Miller. This I think was in a subscription box for someone about a month ago or a couple of months ago, and I saw it and the cover gives me major Firefly vibes, and I'm just in that zone of those books set in space with crews and all that sort of thing. And I've got a whole pile of them that are stacking up on my TBR, but I just have to get to this one. I really do. And you know how I keep saying I'm going to be getting to the new Star Wars books that I bought? Well, I bought another one. And I still haven't read the others. But this is Thrawn by Timothy Zahn, but this is part of the new canon book series. I loved the original Thrawn trilogy, and I'm just so excited to get a bit of a backstory on him because he is just an awesome character in the Star Wars expanded universe. The last two books I picked up were, well, one was an impulse buy and one was just one that I was looking forward to. The first one was Milk and Honey. This was an impulse buy because I've heard a lot of people talk about it and I thought I better read it and just see what it's all about. I did really enjoy it. It's very short. It is written in prose and yeah, what can I say? And the last book that I picked up this month was Begin and Begin, a Love Oz YA anthology, and this is edited by Danielle Binks and it is written by a whole host of authors because it is a short story collection, and it is wonderful because all of these authors are Australian young adult authors and they rock. So I have already read this. I have already talked about it in my weekly review. I think it was number 16. So I will leave a link to that on the screen and you can check it out. If you like young adult, if you like Australian authors, I highly recommend you check it out. There are a great variety of genres. There's a lot of contemporary, there's a lot of sci-fi in here. Look at this cover, isn't it gorgeous? And people wonder why other people just buy books based off their covers. It's because sometimes they look like this. I was going to try and pick up all the books, but I can't. So I'm not going to because this is like only 2/3 of them. So that is it for my April book haul. I know. I'm not even going to pretend to make any comments about not buying many books in May. I don't have any plans, but I do have things already on order. So what are you going to do? Let me know down in the comments. Have you read any of these books? What did you think of them? If anyone's interested in buddy reading any of them, or if you would like me to film a book vlog of reading any of them, the ones that I haven't read yet, that is, feel free to let me know in the comments. I hope that wherever you are in the world, you're having a wonderful day, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye guys.